Hey guys, it's me, Trell. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get a notification whenever I post my next video. Give the video a like and also leave some comments down below. Guys, I'm playing some Call of Duty Mobile. Haven't been on in a while. If you want to play sometime, guys, just drop your gamer tag or whatever down in the comments below and we'll definitely hop on and, slay bodies or whatever. But yeah, so my boot camp experience, I kind of give you like week by week or kind of just a brief of like how that was during that week for me. So first, just MEPS. I didn't really have a bad experience with MEPS. It was just MEPS. I was stressed out. I was kind of scared. I was first time getting on a plane after or before going to boot camp. That was my first time getting on a plane, and I was kind of stressed out, but that's why I favor mode of transportation now, so yeah. And then I was really scared when we finally pulled Paris Island, and they told us to put our heads down, and we were they started driving around. It was like, dang, where are they taking us? And it's like, dang, did I really just sign myself up for this? Then the drill instructor came on, was like, everyone sit up straight, look at me, blah, blah, blah. And you hear this guy's voice, you see this guy, and you're like, what did I just do type vibe. But yeah, so that first week is kind of like receiving week. My receiving drill instructor was like a beast. He was humongous. He was really intimidating, but you don't really get IT'd or anything. And then the end of receiving week, during receiving week you do paperwork and you get your stuff issued and all that stuff. Then at the end you finally meet your drill instructors, and then it's when it's game time. They turn it up, they turn it on. You're at Paris Island. You're in boot camp now. And that's kind of how that went. The next couple weeks was a whole bunch of McMaps, so we got to do pugil sticks and do all that type stuff. And it was really fun. I think it's also did do IST. Either I did my IST either receiving or after I met my drill instructors. I forgot, but anyways, you do that sometime. And then I think that first couple of weeks after receiving week, I had a 5K. I had a hike. It wasn't the first hike wasn't that bad for me. It just sucked kind of hiking through the sand, but it wasn't horrible. I was pretty in good physical shape, so it wasn't just bad. And I was pretty good at packing. I made sure I packed my pack as best as possible. So that's my definitely recommendation. Whenever you do hikes, you want to pack as good as you can, because it's gonna help you in the long run. And I think that was pretty much it for first phase. You do a whole bunch of drill, so you're doing a lot of drill, and I think that was pretty much it for me for first phase. Second phase was swim week. And believe it or not, I actually struggled a lot during swim week. I don't know why. I took swim lessons as a kid and everything, so I was super confident going in. And then I get in there and they give me a size 15, one size 15 boot. Another size is a size 6. They give me an extra large blouse and a small trouser. And I'm kind of psyching myself out because I'm dude, I can't swim like this. And then I did psych myself out, and I was starting not to swim or whatever. And then I just kept psyching myself out, and I kept kind of failing swim qual, and they kind of they draw you back, they talk to you, they teach you, they taught me a better way, so I learned a new way to swim, and I use it still in the pool. Today, just going to the beach, I'll use some of the stuff they showed me during that week. Excuse me. So that's why I tell y'all during swim week, don't worry. They're going to teach you. They're going to teach you how to swim. So just work with them, and they'll work with you type thing. I also think sometime after that was team week. During team week was definitely the hands down best week. I got to eat at the officer's chow hall because I had laundry and I was on the wash crew. And the drill instructors couldn't mess with me because the civilians back there were really cool. They wouldn't let drill instructors come back there. I got to listen to the radio, so I was hearing what everyone was listening to back home at the time. So it was kind of a motivational boost. It was inspiration for me to keep driving and keep going. So yeah, definitely hands down best week for me was team week. I think sometime around there as well, we did uniforms. We got fitted for our uniforms. I think we might have took our just blue photos. as well. Sometime after that, we also had a 10-mile, well, not 10-mile, but a 10K. I had a 10K hike, and I was a road guard for that one, which is basically like you're ahead of everyone. You're like, just make sure you're blocking off roads so cars are not coming, like when people are coming during the hike. And that's, I think that's might have when my hips started giving me problems. Sorry, guys. My throat's really dry. I think that's when my hips started giving me problems. I actually got a hip fracture or stress fractures in boot camp while I was there. But anyways, I'll kind of explain that later down the road, the story behind that. And then grass week, I think, comes up after that. And that's really, you need to pay attention to that. That was my first time ever like handling a rifle. Just make sure you take all the shooting positions really seriously. Kind of make sure you really, really listen, because if you listen then when it comes to the next week, firing week, you'll shoot better. And I didn't really gaff off that like the grass week type thing. And also I think during grass week, I think that's when I tested out for my tan belt. Sometime I think at the end of that week, or I knew it was sometime around there. I think I tested out for my belt, or it might have been after swim week. I can't remember, but it's somewhere before then. You test off for your McMat belt. But when firing week came about, I actually shot a marksman in boot camp, but now I'm an expert rifle and pistol. So don't be like mad at yourself if you shoot marksman in boot camp, because you can improve your score later. You can requal and all that. But yeah, if you don't gaff off the grass week, then it definitely like shows during firing week, and you can also see like who's been shooting for a while. But just because you never shot a rifle, like doesn't mean you're not going to shoot expert. There are people there that never shot a rifle that shot expert, so don't worry about that. And also had a really cool like coach. He was telling us about the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight. So that was really cool. I got to like hear about like updates on that and stuff like that. And I think that's around that time we did our last hike, which was a 12K. So that's when my hips really started giving me problems. And then, the next thing is like third phase. And I don't know when final drill is. I forgot. It might be after or right before the crucible. I'm pretty sure is when final drill was. But you do a lot of drill. You do a lot of drill. So drill is like everyday type thing. If you don't have anything else to do, you're drilling, or you're like getting IT'd really. Like that's kind of like the filler time things is like drill and just ITing, and like you gotta really like ITing, getting like messed up, quote unquote, is really just get you in shape, honestly. That's kind of the whole point behind it. Once you realize that, then you'll stop being internal. But anyways, BWT week was actually I had my birthday during the BWT week. It was good and bad, so I enjoyed it but didn't enjoy it. I was miserable. It was raining during BWT week. It was hot. It was because I went during the summer. It was also really hot during grass week. But it was hot. It was raining. I was sandy. But I also had a lot of fun. We did like this manhunt thing where they pass out popsicle sticks. You get in like a team or a squad. You get in a team, and you kind of gotta like get to this like checkpoint without getting like spotted by like the black shirts, or which are the instructors for BWT week. They call them black shirts, or your drill instructors. And it's really fun. Like they'll pop flares up, and you'll see people like dead fish and just instantly hit the ground. People like low crawling. People like really silent. It's really fun. That's when you do what do they call it? I think they call it like the death run or whatever. It's like you're running at night, and you got it's like a resupply run. You got like ammo cans and stuff, and you'll see when you get there, people show their true colors during that run. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you've done it, or once you get there, you'll remember like, dang, Trill talked about this moment. You'll see. That's all I'm gonna say on that. The next kind of like stuff after that was like testing, like final knowledge tests. I think CFT, PFT. Type thing. I think final drill as well. I think that's when we did final drill. And then after that, really, you don't have anything else but the crucible. And with the hip fracture thing, so during like that last final week before the crucible, I had to go to medical because it was just unbearable, and I ended up having to get X-rays and MRI, and they confirmed that I did have a hip fracture or and stress fractures and stuff like that. So I was kind of scared going into the crucible, and because I didn't, I wanted to complete everything at boot camp. I didn't want to get held back or anything. So the crucible came. I tried to suck it up. Went through the crucible. The crucible it's a crucible. That's all I can say about it. It's a crucible. But at the end of the crucible, you do the hike back. And during that hike back, I was in so much pain. One, because it's a really, really long hike and back. But I had that fracture. And my drill instructor asked me the night before. He was like, Cantrell, you can go back if you want, and you'll still get your EGA. We'll just drop you off at the place or whatever, and you'll get your EGA with everyone else. And I was like, no, sir, I can't do that. Like, I was like, I don't think that's fair, sir. If I was like, if the rest of them are going through, all the pain and suffering, I want to go through it with them. So I sucked it up. And I was also a road guard for that one too. I sucked it up and I kept going with my stress fractures and all that. And I look back on that and I'm like, dang, I did that, and that motivates me sometimes. Like if I can get through that, I got through the crucible with like stress fractures and all that pain, and I'm like, I think back on, I'm like, why am I complaining now about some of the stuff I complain about? Like I've come like so far. That's why I tell you, like, really, you have to look at boot camp a different way. Like, sure, it's gonna suck sometimes, but you got to look at it, the overall picture. Like, that's why I say you're gonna want to go back. You're gonna look back on it and be like, dang, that was a good time. And like, boot camp really did change me. It made me into a better person, and that's the ultimate goal of Parris Island, is to mold better, like humans, mold Marines. That's basically it. And that was basically like the crucible last like big major thing, and getting that EGA was a life-changing experience. Nothing will ever be like it. And then after the crucible, it was just admin stuff, like doing paperwork and getting ready to go, and then you graduate, and then that's it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what my boot camp kind of experience was. That's kind of how it went. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope it kind of eases y'all's mind. Make sure to leave some comments down below. Make sure to leave those gamer tags down there. Also, let me know how I did in the video, guys. Make sure to give the video a like as well. But guys, as always, thanks for watching.